All right, and it is that time, everyone. It is that time for another edition of Maryland's Cafe Society Radio right here on YouTube. It's Tuesday. Yeah, another Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. So happy to be hanging out with you on this day. And of course, we're going to be talking about a lot. Although we're going to keep it, fairly short. We know about everyone's attention span these days. It's not very long. And so welcome aboard. Welcome again to the show. And how are you? How have you been since we last talked? Last week, actually, we talked about the weather last week. And 2 weeks ago, we were here in the Chicagoland area experiencing that sub-zero weather, well, with the wind chills at least. And last week we were in the midst of a major snowstorm that dumped anywhere from 4 to 18 inches of snow, depending on where you live here in the greater Chicagoland area. And here in my area, I think we got probably about 9 to 10 inches of snow on last weekend. It went on for a couple of days, but in the end, in totality, I think it's safe to say we had about 10 inches in my immediate area. But again, in the greater Chicagoland area, it ranged. Some of those people got hit with, close to 18 inches, and it's wintertime, so we should be used to it, right? Well, I have to say this. You guys know how I feel about it. I am absolutely done with winter. I really am. And so I have to be fair, though. And I was talking about this with someone earlier this week. Here in the Chicagoland area, if you've been around for several decades, you know that our winters used to be brutal. I mean, we're complaining about the few days of sub-zero wind chills that we had a few weeks ago, but I can recall in my younger years when those temperatures lasted weeks during the winter months. And of course, with the snow, every week we would get hit with snow. But in the last decade or so, it really hasn't been the winters of yesterday, so to speak. And so I have to mention that, but at the same time, I am over it. I am so over winter, everyone. All right. Well, are you ready to get into things? No cafe talk. We haven't had cafe talk in a while. And, I'll try to get it back as soon as my schedule permits, and I can link up with others, get our schedules in sync so that we can bring people on for the Cafe Talk segment. Or, maybe I'll just do some features, but we'll figure it all out. But in the mean and between time, let's get into our coronavirus update. And all of our data comes from the Johns Hopkins University. And of course, their global numbers right now, as of around noon today, they reported 398.4 million cases worldwide and 5,754,535 deaths globally. That's roughly about 77,000 more from last week's report. Now, here in the United States, we are just under 77 million COVID-19 cases being reported. And my goodness, we've crossed the 900,000 mark. Yeah, we are at 905,875 deaths here in the United States. That's 18,467 more lives lost since last week's report. Prayerfully, we won't hit the million mark, but we're just a blink of an eye away from it. But it's sad. It's a sad case. And prayerfully, according to all of the medical professionals and scientists and news reports, we are on the other side of it all, particularly with this new Omicron variant that's out. So all cases are dropping for the most part. Deaths are dropping for the most part, and things are looking better here in the United States. And China, they're reporting 121,630 cases. That's about a little more than 1,600 more cases since their report last week, or my report, I should say, last week. And they're still holding at 4,849 COVID-19 deaths over in China. And, we just have to stay diligent. I know there's a whole lot of conversation about whether we mask or not mask. And certainly, I believe that when we're in public, we should be masking, whether you're vaccinated or not, because there's still so much not known about this COVID-19. And of course, the various variants that they know about that are out there. So, I think it's better to be safe than sorry. And I'm not going to even comment on, some of the other discourse that's happening regarding the public school systems and whether the children sit in masks. It's too much. So, listen, in the mean and between time, everybody, make sure that you stay safe, stay protected, keep your hands washed, and all of that good stuff. All right. Now, we talked about China last week and the fact that they were hosting the Olympics, and on this past Friday, they started, things kicked off, and some history was made on Monday, just yesterday. Irene Woost, who is a Dutch skater, became the first athlete in history to win an individual gold medal at 5 different Olympics. Yes. Now, she's 35 years old, and she won on Monday the 1,500 meters skate competition. And going back to the year 2006, she won her first gold at the Turin Olympics when she was just 19 years old. So that's 5 wins for her. And she's just 35 years old. So congratulations to her on that feat. All right. Well, listen, if you have a business or product that you wanted to advertise during Super Bowl Sunday, well, guess what? You are too late. Yep, time's up. NBC Universal has announced that they have sold out of Super Bowl ads across all of its platforms. And so you just can't do it. And can you afford it? Because listen, they're reporting that some companies have paid a record $7 million for a 30-second spot. $7 million for a 30-second spot. So that's, that's a lot. When you break it down, I don't know. I think it's around 300,000 per second or something like that. So there's not much you can get in with a fraction of a second commercial spot. But anyway, there you have it. And so, the commercials are going to be the highlight of, in addition to the halftime show and other activities that they will, have ongoing on Super Bowl Sunday as well as beforehand. But anyway, commercials are what a lot of people who aren't huge football fans watch the Super Bowl for. All right. And last Thursday, stock shares for Meta, also known as Facebook, plummeted. Did you hear about that? Yeah, after the company reported a rare profit decline due to a sharp rise in expenses, slow ad revenue growth, and competition from TikTok, and fewer daily United States users on its platform. Their shares fell more than 26%. And of course, that translated to about $230 billion of the company's overall value. Now, this so-called, or I should say, this was called the largest single-day decline for a company on record. Huge, huge, huge loss for Facebook. Now, in its annual report, which was published recently, Meta Platforms Incorporated, which is its full name, has once again threatened to pull Facebook and Instagram from Europe if it is unable to keep transferring user data back to the United States. Now, the European Union regulators have for months been stuck in negotiations with the United States to replace a transatlantic data transfer pact that thousands of companies relied on. But due to concerns that citizens' data isn't safe once shipped to the U.S., the European Union has, just haven't moved or budged. They just refuse. And so on top of all of this, on Monday, which was yesterday, their shares fell as much as 4.5% in trading as well. So things, Meta or Facebook has been going through it. And on top of all of that, an early investor in Facebook, his name is Peter Thiel, announced that he is stepping down from his board position at Meta so that he can focus more on getting involved with the next presidential election. Now, back in 2004, he invested $500,000 into Facebook.com. And when they went public in 2012, he cashed out a large amount of his holdings, some $638 million. So he's walking away for the most part. And we will just continue to watch Meta and see what happens. All right, and speaking of all of that, are you ready for the latest on the stock market? Well, listen, as of around 1:30 this afternoon, Central Time, the Dow gained roughly 333 points to 35,421.65 points. The S&P 500 climbed 12.64 points to 4,513.25 points, and the NASDAQ gained 131.51 points to 14,705.43 points. As for gold, it's up $6.31 to $1,826.96 per ounce, and oil dipped a bit, $2.08 to $89.58 per barrel. And that's it on your business news for this Tuesday. And that brings us to other news. And of course, we all know next Monday is Valentine's Day. But before we get there, Sunday ushers in Super Bowl, right? And so it's Los Angeles Rams versus the Cincinnati Bengals. And of course, it's all going to be live on NBC as well as Peacock. The kickoff time is 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 Central Time at the SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Now, Janae Aiko will sing America the Beautiful. You know that song. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies. Yeah, that one. And of course, country singer Mickey Guyton will sing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see? So many have sung it, but everyone is still hailing Whitney Houston's performance as the best one. But anyway, we'll hear Mickey Guyton and see what she brings to the table on Super Bowl Sunday. Now, halftime, yeah, that's going to be the big show, and it should be pretty amazing with performances from Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, and yes, Miss Mary J. Blige. And so, boy, it's going to have a different flavor of sorts, right? Lots of hip hop and rap. So, be sure to tune in and enjoy the Super Bowl. Hey, did you hear earlier today that the 2022 Oscar nominations were announced? Yeah, it was a shocker. I mean, there's a lot to be reported on, but I'm just going to keep it short and simple. One of the big things that everyone is talking about is the fact that Lady Gaga was left off the prestigious Best Actress category this year for her role in The House of Gucci. In fact, the entire film got shut out of the Best Picture roster, but they did earn a nomination for Best Makeup and Hairstyling. So we'll see what happens. Leonardo DiCaprio also didn't get a chance this year to win big for his role in Don't Look Up, but the Netflix satire was nominated for original score, original screenplay, film editing, as well as Best Picture. Other surprises include some musicals with like Beyonce and Billie Eilish both being nominated for their first Oscar in the Best Original Song category. You know, Beyonce wrote Be Alive from King Richard, while Billie Eilish and her brother Phineas O'Connell wrote No Time to Die from the James Bond flick of the same name. And Belfast and West Side Story each earned 7 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. And all the winners will be announced during ABC's broadcast of the 94th Academy Awards on Sunday, March 27th. Now, you can go to their website, the Oscars website, to get the full list of all of the nominees, and a host has not been named yet, and I don't know why they don't put that not microscope, but magnifying glass on the map, in the middle of the map, to the Chicagoland area. Hey, I'll do it. Yeah, we'll see what they do. You know, it's these last couple of years have been interesting with COVID, and I think the last time there was was it 2018 with Jimmy Kimmel, I think, and then they tried the year before with 2 hosts. So we'll see how they handle it. You know, sometimes they have multiple hosts. But yeah, we'll see. Again, that date is March 27th of this year. Remember back in 1985 when Oprah made her acting debut as Sophia in the Steven Spielberg's adaptation of Alice Walker's novel, The Color Purple. And then she earned that Academy Award nomination. Well, Oprah is back with her involvement with the Color Purple story. She's returning in a new role as one of the producers to help bring the Color Purple musical, which premiered initially on Broadway in 2005, the musical, you know. And she's going to help bring it to the screen. Now, the other producers involved include Steven Spielberg, Quincy Jones, and Scott Sanders, who is producer of the Broadway musical. Now, it's set to premiere in 2023 and will be directed by Blitz Bazawule, who also directed Beyonce's Black is King, along with Marcus Gardley, who is director of The Chi. He's actually writing the script for this. Now, the original film adaptation of The Color Purple had a legendary ensemble. You guys remember Whoopi Goldberg, Danny Glover, Lawrence Fishburne, and of course, Oprah. Well, this go round, Fantasia Barrina is going to be Celie. Danielle Brooks is going to be Sophia. Taraji P. Henson will play Suge Avery. Corey Hawkins will take on the role of Harpo. Coleman Domingo, who comes from the film Selma, will play Mr. And of course, her, H.E.R., who is that Grammy Award-winning R&B singer. She's going to be making her acting debut in The Color Purple as Squeak. Holly Bailey, which is the other half of the sister duo Chloe and Haley. I'm sorry, I said Holly. It's Haley. And she, of course, is the star of Disney's live-action version of The Little Mermaid. She was tapped to play the role of Nettie. And of course, this new Color Purple movie musical score borrows music from and lyrics from the Broadway musical. And it happened to be written by Brenda Russell, Allie Willis, and Stephen Bray. So get ready, Color Purple fans. Yeah, if you saw the original film with Oprah years ago, and you've been following the Broadway musicals, and even it came to the Chicagoland area. Well, now you're going to get to see it. A remake, a reimagining of sorts. Yeah, they're going to do some things a little bit different, kind of dig a little deeper into some of the characters. So you'll get to see that again in 2023. All right. Well, here's one last thing. It's not one last thing, but in this little particular segment, if you've considered going into the restaurant business, particularly selling steaks, I thought this was a cute little story. Well, think twice, because listen to this. A 40-person brawl broke out in a Pennsylvania Golden Corral. That all-you-can-eat buffet. Yeah. Guess what caused the brawl? The restaurant ran out of steaks. So again, if you're thinking of going into the restaurant business, especially if you're going to be selling steaks, think again, and just make sure you have plenty of steaks on hand, because you don't want to have to deal with a 40-person brawl. All right. I do have one last thing, and here it is, everybody. Are you ready? We're celebrating Black History Month, and so on this particular Tuesday in February, I am recognizing Maya Angelou as she becomes the first Black woman to appear on the United States quarter. Yes. And of course, it's all just in time for Black History Month. I believe the U.S. Mint began the distribution of the coins back in January around Dr. King's birthday. But yeah, the coin, one side of the coin is featuring Maya Angelou. She's that iconic poet, writer, civil rights activist, actress, and so much more. It's in the banks, so it should be in good circulation. Let me see if I can get the image of the coin up. Typically, you have someone else doing this for you, but let me see if I can make this happen, you guys, fairly quickly. And get it shared. I know there's a way I can share screen. And I want to share this. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, go to the U.S. Mint website, and you'll get a chance to see what the coin looks like. Or you can go to your banks and ask for the actual coins. Yeah, you can ask for them. All right, everybody, that is it. That's going to do it for this edition of the show. Before we go, I do want to remind you of our word for February 2022, which happens to be a repeat. Remember, we're in repeat mode because we really want to learn this, right? So the word is quiddity, and it means the inherent nature, distinctive feature, or essence of someone or something. So let's make sure that we use it in our vocabulary this week. And again, if you want to support the show or benefit from some of the advertisements, opportunities that we have or sponsorships, send an email to producer@Maryland'sCafeSociety.com. Remember to visit that website, Maryland'sCafeSociety.com, to connect with me on the social media. Although, my schedule's been so busy, I haven't been very active, but I'll get back to it. I promise. All right. All right. Remember the blog as well every week, usually by Wednesday or Thursday at Maryland's Cafe Society on WordPress. And thank you so much for checking out this YouTube video and supporting. Remember the email club. Just send your email to Maryland's Cafe Society at yahoo.com and get signed up. All right. You ready to know what love is for this week of Maryland's Cafe Society? Love is Valentine's Day, because we won't be together until the day after Valentine's Day. So, live, laugh, love everybody. As always, it's a pleasure and a privilege to hang out with you on the show, and have a very happy Valentine's Day. And listen, if a purple dinosaur, cartoon dinosaur, can sing a song to all of his friends and family and people that he loves, I can too. And so that's how I'm going to take us out. Are you ready? Are you ready for the Barney song, the I Love You song? All right, here it is. I love you, you love me, we're a happy family, with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? I love you, you love me, we're best friends as friends could be, with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too? See you on the next show, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day and be safe. Peace.